Let's get to the reason we're really all here. It is a town hall, and we are taking questions here in the studio, across the country, on Facebook even. Yep. But we're going to kick it off right here with a question from this gentleman. How are you?
Thank you all for the time to ask the question. My name is Daryl. I'm from Baltimore. We've been talking about some of this idea about stimulus package and retraining the workforce. Then you talked about we may have to take a position maybe less than what we think we really are qualified for. It might be valuable if you guys could help us with a strategy to sort of get a place that says how far down or just exactly where we should be placing our expectations so we can be effective in the new economy.
Okay.
Here's the thing that scares me. People say, I want to change careers, I want to change locations, I want to change. I think you should try to limit the amount of change. So, for example, if you like your industry, but you want to change jobs, that's a good thing. If you're in accounting and technology is not working, you could go to healthcare in accounting. Be very careful. If you make all the changes at the same time, you'll have the longest job search path. The other thing that I like is if you're going to make all those changes, go back to school.
You make a great point. And as we talk more and more about this idea of how to reset your expectations, especially if you've had a dream, if you're at an age where you're beginning to dream big, you're setting up retirement, here's a way to reset some of those expectations. Take a look.
Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke recently told Congress better days are ahead.
There's a reasonable prospect that the current recession will end in 2009 and that 2010 will be a year of recovery.
But that's scant comfort for people like Mark Cooper of Tempe, Arizona. 9 months ago, he lost his job as a $70,000 a year regional security manager for a Fortune 500 company.
That first day, that Monday I was notified, I came home to my wife and just went up to her and held her and just told her, I've got some news for you. I'm being laid off.
It was equally devastating for Mark's wife, Maggie.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I've got to be really honest that that was easier to take than finding out that my husband had lost his job.
But Cooper didn't wallow in self-pity. Even as he flooded the market with resumes seeking an executive-level job, he went to work as a janitor for $12 an hour at a friend's company.
My esteem has initially gone through a strong battle. It's not been easy. You're fighting despair, discouragement, and depression. I have noticed people go, oh, he's just a janitor. He's not of value. And that's the, whether you mean to or not, that's the look they give you.
But at least you're collecting a paycheck and benefits and something more.
Every day I do learn something new about myself. The survivor job, as it's being called, I've taken on, has taught me to be more humble in what I do.
The survivor job, a sign of the times, a temporary expedient in an economy hemorrhaging jobs. Tyler Mathisen, CNBC.
Mark's case may seem extreme to many, but also inspirational in the way that he and his wife are dealing with it, Jim. Just taking a look around the country, there are places where the unemployment rate is a whole lot worse than 8.1%. You look at El Centro, California, I think it's north of 22%. I was looking. Some places in Arizona, you're looking at 15, 20%. I mean, people that are in places like that may feel they really have to reset to a very low level. How do you get around that?
You can't just single-handedly reset into a lower job and say that's it. Mm-hmm. You have to take the opportunity to get the paycheck, but also use the time that you have to do something else. So, for one thing, you can increase your skills. Two, you can answer the question when you're going for interviews. So what are you up to? Well, I'm a janitor. That's fine. That's great. That's really inspiring. But at the same time, you want to say, well, I'm also working for the American Red Cross. I'm raising funds for that. I'm doing something with my school. And you want to umbrella all of your activities. You want to do several things at once in addition to the necessary downgraded job, so you can tell your story to potential employers.
What if people, though, don't want to hire you because you came from doing something that was higher up the ladder, and now you really do want this job, but it's hard to convince somebody to take a chance on you?
It's humility.
Be overqualified.
It's humility, and this is a great story for us to take a lesson. I work in Midtown, and I actually I did an experiment. I walked the streets of...
In New York.
In New York, in Midtown New York, sorry. And I walked the streets to find out how bad is the job market. I went store to store and found out everybody, and asking people, how bad is your business? Said it's down 60, 70%. I then decided, you know what, could I find a job job if I needed it. I found out I could have earned, if I wanted to, I could have earned over $500 working in the city per week if I was willing to do things that I might have considered to be below me. Things like stocking shelves, cleaning up stores. And they would all tell me, we're not hiring. And I said, well, what if I was willing to do anything? They said, well, I guess you could stock the shelves in the back and we'll pay you $100 a day. Separating your ego from the reality, and as we're talking about here, it's not a permanent step back. This man, I'm sure, did not want to be a janitor his whole life.
And he won't be a janitor forever.
And he won't be forever.
No, it's that temporary stopgap.
It's a temporary stopgap.